tomorrow. President Obama delivers the eulogy at the funeral for the pastor killed while leading a Bible study group. It comes just one day after the services for the first of the victims.
32-year-old Jamel Anderson and the accused driver, who many of you saw cuffed live on our ABC 15 mobile app. 36-year-old Jason Andrews, the passenger, our video didn't show last night. Long list of charges for both of them, and we're told the investigation isn't over, so there could be more charges coming.
The word terrorist brings many thoughts to mind: hate, violence, danger. But who's really the face of terror? Many have said Islamic extremists, but new research shows white extremists have killed nearly twice as many Americans in the U.S. since the 9/11 attacks, a total of 48 compared to 26 by Islamist groups. The most recent attack killing 9 African-American members of a Charleston church. The suspect, Dylan Roof, no connection to Islam. The Charleston tragedy reigniting the debate on whether the Confederate flag should be banned. Several businesses have already stopped selling it, but tonight one group is bucking the trend. NASCAR says it will not ban fans from bringing the flag to races. The NASCAR officials say they support the push from South Carolina's governor to remove the flag from state grounds.
And the funerals are starting to begin in Charleston, and tomorrow
The country and called for building a wall along the southern border. Trump now claiming his criticism is directed against U.S. lawmakers, not the Mexican people.
The border is totally open. Anybody can come in. It's very easy, and it shouldn't be that way. And the problem that Univision has with me is that I'm honest about trade and I'm honest about the border. And so therefore they violated a contract and they defaulted on a contract.
Trisha Hendricks live in the newsroom with a former Miss Arizona who's met Trump. And Trisha, this is not sitting well with her.
Not at all, Faye. Former Miss Arizona USA Alicia Monique Blanco says as soon as Trump made those comments, text messages started flooding her phone from family members and friends that couldn't believe what he said. In fact, we FaceTimed with her from LA today, and she says this has turned into a huge mess.
I thought it was a joke.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best.
I thought there's no way that he would actually have the nerve to say these things so boldly.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
That didn't sit well with former Miss Arizona USA Alicia Monique Blanco.
It's heartbreaking to know that he could generalize and be so completely hurtful.
Blanco met Trump when she competed in his Miss USA pageant in 2009. She was second runner-up.
I was super excited. I was feeling excited that I could bring my family out to meet the Donald Trump.
But after Trump's harsh words,
I was completely disappointed. I competed in Miss USA because the Miss Universe organization is supposed to represent diversity.
She now coaches several girls competing in pageants, one that may change her mind about competing in an upcoming Miss USA pageant.
She's no longer 100% certain that she even wants to move forward and continue because of his comments alone.
Blanco thinks more and more Latinas are going to think twice about competing in Miss USA.
You know, we're spicy. We're going to be really upset when someone says something like that. So I'm just curious to see how many more, you know, back out.
Now, the two hosts of the Miss USA pageant, both of them Hispanic actors, have pulled out of their duties, and so has a singer who was set to perform. Live in the newsroom, Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Trisha, thanks. NBC Universal is a partner in the pageant organization with Donald Trump. In a statement, the network says Trump's opinions don't represent those of NBC. New tonight, Lululemon is recalling more than 300,000 women's tops with hard-tipped drawstrings. They're apparently whipping women in the face. There are already several reported incidents involving face and eye injuries. The store sold the tops and jackets from 2008 to the end of last year. You can either remove the cord, get a new non-elastic replacement one. Of course, all of this just 2 years after the sheer see-through pants disaster that cost the company $67 million. Tracking tomorrow, the U.S. women's soccer team faces off against China. A win would once again put the team in the semifinals, the World Cup's Final Four, a spot the U.S. men have never been able to reach. Monique Griego live in downtown Phoenix with why American women tend to dominate. Monique.
Well, Faye, the U.S. women's team has already won the World Cup twice, and their fans have been gathering here at the Tilted Kilt in downtown Phoenix, hoping they'll do it again. And tonight we found out why that's entirely possible. 1987, Les Armstrong, a Scottish professional soccer player, moves to the U.S. and consequently has everything he knew about the sport flipped upside down.
Could not believe my eyes. I felt like I'd been beamed to another planet.
It was the first time he'd ever witnessed women of any age play competitive soccer.
The girls were amazing, and I've never seen that.
Currently with SC Del Sol, Armstrong has coached 3 players competing in the World Cup, including 2 stars on Team USA. One of the favorites to win it all.
On the women's side, they've been there at the onset, and they're historically the strongest team.
He says the American men are playing catch-up.
Men's team has progressed immensely over a short period of time, really, but it's going to take a long period of time because they don't have the history of the other countries. You know.
With the USA on the forefront.
Lows. In fact, this morning we only got down to 90 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we have until midnight tonight to drop below that, or we're going to have a new record on our hands. Again, 90 this morning, previous record 89 degrees set back in 2012, so just a few years ago. And again, this record, if you ask me, is already in the bag because we're still at 101 degrees at Phoenix Sky Harbor right now. No way we're going to cool 11 degrees or more in the next 2 hours. Humidity right now 17%, winds out of the west-southwest 9 miles per hour. And look at the valley. We got a lot of triple digits still hanging on tonight. Fountain Hills, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Tempe, all at 100 degrees, even warmer a little bit farther out to the west. And take a look at temperatures up to the north right now. 60 in Flagstaff, 72 in Show Low. That's where we're seeing the big cool down in the evening hours, as opposed to our heat islands and desert spots that are holding on to that daytime heating a little bit longer. Tonight, lows in the 80s from the valley out to the west. Kingman drops down to 72, 70 in Page, and 51 in Flagstaff. Tomorrow, though, we don't have any 80s in the forecast anywhere around the state. The coolest spot, still very warm, will be Flagstaff at 90 degrees. If they hit 90 degrees, it will be the first.
Cooler than 91 degrees, then we'll have another record temperature. So let's hope that we do. We may have some clouds moving through that may prevent us from getting too cool tonight.
What's happening storm-wise. This is Futurecast into tomorrow. Most of the monsoon action is going to be over New Mexico, but there is going to be a chance for white.
Many of us that are feeling cool tonight. Now this morning we did have a record, so warmest low for this day. We only dipped down to 90 degrees and the previous record was 89, and that happened in 2002. So we're at that time of year where those daytime temperatures are so high we're not able to cool off at night, especially not at Sky Harbor anyway with all the concrete.
Lunchtime forecast and for your drive home, even the morning by 8 a.m. 90s across much of the valley.
Through Saturday, we're looking at temperatures in that area 112 to about 118. We still have some moisture out there tonight. You can see a few showers left over in southeast Arizona. We're going to get in on some of those clouds spilling over into the valley tonight, so that may just be enough to keep our temperatures very warm overnight. A 3 tomorrow on the monsoon meter for the White Mountains, a 2 in southeast Arizona, and a 1 here in the valley. So we're not expecting a whole lot of activity in the lower deserts, but once again, just like today, we could see those mountain storms. All right, tomorrow 117 for Bullhead City, 117 Lake Havasu City, 111 here in Phoenix. Gila Bend, you'll top out at 110, 108 in Casa Grande. So tomorrow should be pretty quiet. We'll kind of just keep that possibility of dust moving in for the next couple of days. Monsoon meter going up over the weekend, and it should be a pretty muggy start to next week. Coop, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Caribe. Hey, straight.
Dedication, precision, and creativity. It takes a never-ending desire to.
En mallas contra el sol, focos LED y más. Visita ahora.
You need this wonderful work.
Live-action replica of the TV family's mythical hometown is next to the park's existing Simpsons.
Bonus cash during Nissan's Free to Choose at the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Times ally to an adversary.
Chairs and more. The remodeling sale at the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries in Arizona.